Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're finally doing a Colourpop video. It's been a minute. I feel like I used to film these every single week, the newest Colourpop launches, but they've been a little not as active lately, although they did just come out with the Haunted Mansion collection. I was literally so over the moon excited to review that one, and I never got it. There was like a mix-up, so I was never able to review it. I did buy it, but I don't know what happened to my shipment. It's like disappeared. So I don't know where it is right now, but I do have a new collection to show you. This is the new 11/11 collection. It says you're on the right path. Ethereal vibes only, with all new modern nude shades that look good on every skin tone, whether you're warm, neutral, or cool. So it's kind of angelic themed. This is launching tomorrow, Colourpop Thursday I like to call it, because Colourpop always does new launches on Thursday at 10 a.m. PST. So you can grab this collection. I do have a discount code. Hopefully it works on this. It should. It's 5LeahJanae. At checkout you can use for $5 off of your order. If you do use my code, I greatly appreciate it. You guys are amazing. But I am very intrigued with this collection because at first I saw it and I was like, ooh, Colourpop's doing a neutral collection. I do love me some neutral shadows. But then when I actually got into this, I was like, you know what? Colourpop is totally trying to dupe Natasha Denona right now. The I Need a Nude is everywhere. And the thing with Colourpop is they have their own factory and they can come out with launches like that. So they can jump on a trend and put something into motion way faster than a lot of brands can. So I truly do believe they are trying to go for the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude hype. And we will compare these as well at the end of the video. But I was like, oh, okay. I see what you did there. But anyways, this is the 11/11 palette here. And yes, I did show the shades already. I got too excited. But here is the inside. We have like some little angel wings. And then we got some nice shimmers and mattes. And it is a very neutral color scheme. I'm going to go ahead and swatch all the shades for you guys one by one. First up, we have the shade Total Angel. Next, Manifest It. Good Thoughts, Balanced, Protection, Major Change, Reflect, Lucky Babe, Perfect Harmony, Right Path, Empowered, and Divine. Let me tell you, these shimmers swatch so good. Like, I feel like these shimmers have one of the best Colourpop shimmer formulas I have ever put on my eyes. They are so smooth and so melty. I was very impressed. The mattes, they're the typical Colourpop mattes. I did find them to be very soft and smooth, blendable, but I always wish they had just a little more punch to them. But overall, such a beautiful color scheme. So this palette is gonna be $18. We also have some shadow sticks in the collection, and I feel like eyeshadow, like stick formulas, have been all the rage right now. And Colourpop did come out with some really stunning colors. First up, we have the shade Angel Vibes, which is like the perfect inner corner kind of shade. I didn't really love it all over the lid, but I feel like this will definitely be a nice brightening one. We have an all matte kind of caramel color. This one is Gimme a Sign. Loved that one. And then we also have this fun, it's like a shimmery kind of olive almost. This is So Celestial. And yeah, I felt like these blended really nice on the eyes. I think they have a really nice shadow stick formula. And then we have 3 powder blushes in the collection. These are kind of hard to see in my swatches, but I did try my best. The first one is called Good Energy. We also have Claim It. And lastly is Message Me. That's the deepest one in the collection. Now, as I was looking on Trend Mood, apparently there is lipsticks in this collection as well. I don't have them. I didn't seem to get them in my package. I don't think so. I do not have the lipsticks for you guys today, but they did come out with 4 really gorgeous neutral colors. Would have loved to try them, but that's totally fine. The powder blushes are going to be $12, and the lipsticks are the Blur formula, and they will be $10. So that's a very quick overview if you just wanted to see like swatches and just a look at the collection, since I don't think many people have showed this yet. But I'm excited. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this look, and we're going to try everything on the face. Alright guys, we're going to dive into the 11/11 eyeshadow palette. I'm so excited to play with this because it's swatched so good, especially the shimmers really blew me away. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Lucky Babe. This is gonna go in the crease. I'm just kind of using this as a base. I just want to see how dark it can get because this one seems pretty light. It's a very light kind of cool tone sand brown. So it has just a little bit of color showing up here. I am a little self-tanned too right now, but just kind of a nice blending shade. Okay, let's actually use Right Path. And I'm just using the BK Beauty number 211 brush, which has a nice kind of smaller detail point, so you can really get into the crease area, especially if you have smaller eyes like I do. So we're just blending a little bit more here. All right, using the BK 202 eye brush, let's go ahead and use Empowered in the outer corner. This is a really nice soft darker brown, but it's not the darkest one in the collection. I wanted to see like how deep it is, because yeah, it doesn't really have a super strong, I would say, depth to it, but it gives a nice kind of soft smoky effect. Let's deepen that up with Divine. This will be the darkest shade in the palette. It does have some matte glitter to it, but that will not show up on the eye. It just shows up in the swatches. So overall, using a lot of the mattes in the palette, they all seem to be very soft shades. I wish they would have maybe a smidge more pigment right off the bat, but they are definitely buildable and they blend out very easily. No patchiness or skipping with these, so just very easy to use colors. Sometimes if I really want to build up depth, I'll go in with an even firmer brush to build that color up. This is a BK 207. It's like a pointy brush. I also like this one for my lower lash line, so I'm actually going to stay with this brush and go back into Empowered and put this on my lower lash line. Now that we got all the smokiness, we'll definitely clean that up in a bit. I always use Colourpop shimmers with my finger because it just melts it right on. And I'm going to take this gorgeous smoky taupe called Major Change. And I'm going to place this on the lid. These shimmers are just so melty and soft. This definitely looks like the look I did with the Natasha Denona. I need a nude palette for sure. I'm going to place this in my inner corner. This is Total Angel. Just for the brightening effect. What a perfect name for this color. Just to brighten and give that ethereal look. I'm going to clean that up with the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Concealer. This is one of my go-tos that I always use. It's a really nice hydrating one. And this is a lighter shade, so it's going to add some brightening. This is in Fair 15W. So that's the eyes. I am going to put the rest of my makeup on and we'll be right back to try out the blush. Okay, got the rest of my makeup on. Now it's time for blush. I was very disappointed in the swatches of these blushes. Besides the last one, I felt like had a little bit of pigment. So I want to see if we can get this to build on the face at all. This is the color Good Energy. I am going to use a more dense brush. This is the BK Beauty 111. I just feel like this really doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, I feel like it's barely there if you want just a little something, but I don't think that's enough difference for me. I feel like that barely shows up. Let's try the darker color. This one is Message Me. I just feel like the Colourpop powder blushes are just, they're very light. All right, so this is a little bit better, but I'm still not overly impressed with these, but this will work. At least it does show up, but I feel like with this collection I would have liked to see more of like a rosy. This is kind of like a burnt rose, maybe like a lighter pink color. I feel like that would go with the collection. And since it's like an Angel collection, I feel like it's missing highlighters. Maybe it did come with it and I didn't get them, but I feel like I could use some highlight. Now that we got all our makeup done, let's go ahead and get into my thoughts so far in the collection. Okay guys, so here's my thoughts so far on the collection. Of course, this is just my first impression, but I have tried hundreds of Colourpop palettes, so I feel like I have a pretty good idea for, you know, the quality of their stuff. So with the eyeshadow palette, I definitely wanted to see how similar it was to the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette, because I think that was definitely the inspiration for this collection. So I do want to do some comparisons. Let's go ahead and put them side by side. I definitely notice a trend here. The Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, it has this neutral color scheme, but it's very wearable, and it also has a little bit of peachy tones in it, which I also get in this Colourpop one. Here's what they look like. So you can definitely tell that they are very similar color schemes for sure. I wouldn't go as far as to call them an exact dupe or anything, but I do think it is similar, just because I don't think the formula is the same. I am a Natasha Denona junkie. Like, I love her stuff. Her formula is my favorite. It's expensive though. Like, this palette's almost $70. This one's $18, so big price difference there. The Natasha Denona shimmers just seem to be a little more sparkly than the Colourpop ones are, but they have a pretty good shimmer formula in both of them. And I know that this palette in particular has a couple of glitter topper shades, but I don't find the mattes to be the same, just because I feel like Natasha's mattes are very pigmented, super smooth. But I wish the Colourpop ones had just a little bit more punch to them. Like, I don't want to keep having to build up and build up. I find that to be just a little bit annoying, but I have that problem with most of the Colourpop shadows. But I mean, we get the job done and it looks beautiful in the end. I did go ahead and swatch them as well so you guys can see the comparisons. I wouldn't say it lines up again exactly, but they are pretty close in tone for sure. The one thing I was kind of more surprised about is the Colourpop actually went a little bit more golden with these shimmers here, a little more warmer, which I thought was interesting. But overall, it's definitely a similar color scheme. Now, I know Colourpop has so many neutral palettes that have come out over the years, but I wanted to grab these two for comparison because I feel like a lot of people have these, the Stone Cold Fox and the Bare Necessities. First, I pulled out the Stone Cold Fox because this has just a lot of cool tone neutral shades, but I actually found these two were really hard to match up with each other. I actually could not get exact dupes in these, so I didn't even swatch them next to each other because, trust me, they were not the same at all. This is way more cool tone, and again, this one kind of brings in a little bit of that peachiness as well. So I actually found a lot more similarities in the Colourpop Bare Necessities palette. Even with the mattes, those seem to be very similar. A couple of the shimmers didn't match up exactly, but if you're looking for the closest in your collection, Bare Necessities is definitely the closest that I have, and I wanted to show those next to each other. I did swatch them together as well just so you could see. Obviously, Bare Necessities has way more shades, but I'm just trying to find the matches in each of the palettes. So if you do have Bare Necessities, you may not need this one, but I will tell you, I think there is something special about the shimmers in this palette. I felt like these were just amped up a notch, just extra smooth and creamy and so pretty on the eyes. I was so impressed with those shimmers. Just my only gripe with this palette is the mattes. I just wish had a little bit more pigment. Of course, with the shadow sticks, I just kind of swatched them on my eye. I did not do a wear test on these, so that is something I will have to update you guys on because I'm not quite sure if they would wear all day, but they were very nice and creamy and blended out really good on the eyes. As far as the blushes go, I was pretty disappointed in these. I think the one blush, if you get one from the collection, I do like the Message Me one. Now, I do think they have better ones out there that I've tried, so personally, I wasn't that impressed with these, and these two lighter shades are definitely a pass in my opinion. If they can barely show up on me, who is actually very fair, I don't know. I don't see how that's gonna work for all skin tones, but Message Me is definitely the one to get from the collection. And yeah, like I said, I don't have the lipsticks, so I'm not sure about those, but I just wanted to go ahead and do a quick video going over this because I thought it was so fun, and I really wanted to see how close it was to the Natasha Denona, because I think this is going to be the closest palette we have right now if you're looking for a more affordable option. So that is it for the video. Let me know your thoughts on this collection. Are you guys picking this up or passing on it? Again, it launches tomorrow. My code is 5LeahJanae. I also have a Natasha code if you guys want to use that for 15% off if you prefer her palette too. All that will be in the description box. I just like to always mention it because I feel like people do forget about it. So that's why I'm always mentioning it in my videos, what my codes are and all of that. But I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.